Hello, YouTube. It's another one of those exclusive videos. This time has a couple of fun North American players. Spawning here to the bottom right, friend of the channel. You may have seen him in some of our Direct Strike games, just hanging out on Discord. He's also not too bad of a player when it comes to 1v1s. It is the Green Protoss. TurkeyDano! This guy, I think, is probably best known for being a little bit of a memester when it came to some of his official matches for games, but we'll talk about him more in a moment. To the upper left side, we have our Red Terran player. It's, of course, Future. Future's played in a lot of our stuff, and as many of you know, I'm a big fan of Future. So I was particularly stoked when I got my hands on this replay. I won't say who sent it. Don't want to do too many spoilers in case who wins, whatever. But TVP is a weird matchup right now. We're not seeing too many long games of it. But what's funny as well, I think once upon a time, TurkeyDano was probably best heralded for a little bit of cannon rush action and maybe something silly. I haven't actually seen him play too much, and I don't know whether he's going to be playing something more macro-oriented or if this probe's looking for a pylon. Either way, he isn't going to cross the map to scout. Allegedly, this comes from a best-of-3 series. I'm not sure what the tournament was, otherwise I'd love to give them a quick shout-out, but I'm not sure if this is game 1, 2, or 3, so we're just going to treat it as a game on its own. Now, as we get into the openers here, as I said, Future's not doing anything too strange. Pretty standard. Got a quick second gas. Might see something come out of a starport, but otherwise, I like that he's scouted with the SCV. But there's still a little bit of suspicion arisen here because, A, there's no second pylon down, which is always a little bit questionable. There's no Nexus taken. And TurkeyDano actually went to the third base for his second base. And I would say there is a good, I'm going to say 70% chance Future doesn't scout this. Because a quick look at Future's vision, everything he has seen at the moment, minus this gas, and that's what's so suspicious, and that's why the SCV was hugging it. I'll explain that in a second, but like, everything here looks like there's a proxy that's been set up. The type of proxy, who knows? So he puts a bunker down for safety to make sure he's got something to defend with, but realistically, TurkeyDano's actually opened up in a very strangely greedy way, because I don't know any Protoss player who's going to be satisfied having this big gap between the third and the natural, so he will likely turn this into a 3-base situation, or at least ideally turn this into a 3-base situation at some point. There goes my ability to speak. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens. Still has not salvaged the bunker, so very worried still. Reaper comes back to the main base, really looking for confirmation of something. Pilot Council goes down, but honestly, nothing too suspicious otherwise. There's a small engineering bay block at the natural base, but this will be dealt with soon, and it's not like TurkeyDano actually needs this dealt with yet. TurkeyDano, wait, was that a kill? That was a kill, not a cancel. That's going to cost Future 125 minerals. But TurkeyDano also hasn't gotten across the map to scout. He doesn't know that Future's actually one-based this behind it, which, in fairness, is a fair way some Terran players are approaching the matchup. But the over-defensive bunker, the paranoia of not knowing what's coming on, there's a little bit of mind game action that's gone into effect here, and I want to just highlight TurkeyDano's actually going for a third base before Future has his second. This is so unbelievably greedy, and Future is such a talented player that if he knew what was going on in this game, he would punish the heck out of it. And he could with a one-base push at a certain timing, pull some SCVs, a couple of bunkers, but he's looking for the pylon. He's looking for the Oracle. Whatever's supposed to come out of this, Future doesn't know. He hasn't seen it, and he's very much on edge. Yikes. Well, as there's a small lull in the action, I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update what's going on with me. Keep an eye on the production tab, because this is a weird game. I can't even explain it. Isn't that literally what I'm supposed to be doing right now? Anyways, point is, I'm trying this cast. I don't still know how I'm doing. Every day, health is feeling better, stamina's feeling better, coughing less, but still coughing nonetheless. So this is a bit of a practice, and if this video actually makes it up on YouTube, then you'll know what I'm saying here is irrelevant, because it's just a test to see whether I can make it through a game or not feeling okay. Now, the other side of this is I'm recording this on April 1st. April Fools! Oh, it's gonna be so obnoxious! Anyone else hate April Fools? This, what I'm about to say, is not an April Fool's, okay? We have a tournament coming up. I've posted it in our Discord, and I'm going to totally use this VOD to advertise it a little bit, because it's the Rifkin's Coming Back tournament. $1,000 on the line. And it'll be happening across the second week of April. More on that afterwards, though, because this is a pretty nasty push coming out of Future. Completely denied with his force field. Oh, that is such a sick move out of TurkeyDano. Blinks over here, grabs the Cyclone. Not a bad trade, Cyclone, for the Stalker, but that force field is so critical because it stops the army. Now, granted, this army's not crazy big. I think the Stalkers actually with Blink could chip away at most of the Marines, and just 2 tanks and some SCVs is not that scary. TurkeyDano should ideally be able to hold that, but look at the paper, right? 16 supply to 30. There should be a bunker or 2 coming down. You never put an engineering bay back up on his side of the field. Oh, there's a Banshee coming up behind this too. Looks like Viking actually lands in the main base, but TurkeyDano put down a shield battery, so it prevented a lot of kills from going down. Total of 3 probes. Not too shabby. But quickly for those dates, there's going to be a qualifier on Sunday the 7th, April 7th. Monday the 8th. Tuesday the 9th, we're going to have group stage. And then Saturday and Sunday, 13th and 14th, we're going to have the playoffs. So, hope to see you guys there. All right, shield batteries on the top of the shields and the Stalkers. The bunkers make this really hard to push into. TurkeyDano's putting up his own defenses. Some shield batteries at the top of this ramp. But the beauty is, this actually sets up perfectly for a 2-pronged attack. Tanks are no good shooting in 2 different directions at the same time. This tank holds on with those SCVs repairing. Oh my god, the SCV repair is so good! He just needs like 1 more Stalker to shoot, but the Stalkers are preoccupied up here. Finally blinks in, but is it too late? That tank was a hero. You know what? It's a replay, so we can do something we can't normally do in StarCraft. Let's rewind real quick. How many kills did this legend have before he went down? This tank! Okay, that was a little less exciting than I thought. He had 1 kill on the tank, but that thing lived through 3 lives. The bunkers still hold. The Stalkers move over towards the shield batteries. Hey, that's going to work out pretty nicely for him. Banshee causing a lot of chaos. She's got about 3 kills on her. Bunkers, of course, can't be built on the actual ramp itself, so these bunkers are at a full standstill in terms of advancing. Blinks to grab the Banshee, a little greedy. Not sure if totally worth, but either way, TurkeyDano with 6 supply holds on to 3 bases. Now, it's 51 probes versus 38 SCVs. I don't care about mules. You can balance mine about mules all day. It's not going to make up for the difference in the economy. And while TurkeyDano at the moment doesn't have a lot on the field to represent his money, give him 3 minutes if the game even goes on that long, and you will see TurkeyDano, I think, eclipsing Future's army and probably his tech too. Unfortunately, Future got tricked, and I really want to emphasize tricked into like this 1-base play. And it was like the simplest kind of mind game as well. I think some players may have inherently scouted the 3rd immediately with that SCV early on to check and confirm, and if he did, this would be a 100% different game out of Future. But TurkeyDano, whether this is like a game 2 after a big cheese in game 1, or whether this is game 1 of the series, again, we don't know, guys. He's known to play not so hard on the macro style, so I think there's every little bit right out of Future that he opened this feeling a little paranoid. And I think default, that's a good move, but that's TurkeyDano reading into what his opponent would likely do, knowing his own playstyle, knowing his, we'll say notoriety instead of fame, and playing around it. So I think really good meta plays here. Not to mention there's an obnoxious amount of shield batteries down, so this Banshee is going to struggle to find kills. The dynamic here is basically a Banshee, normally 2 shots a probe, cool, beans, but if a shield battery is there, it takes 5 shots, so over 2 times the amount of time, much less shots it takes to even kill a single probe. Those shield batteries can deny this for quite some time. So even if TurkeyDano is not really paying attention, the amount of damage this Banshee can cause is fairly limited. Things like Liberators that one-shot probes don't care about the shield battery. But Banshees, they attack fast and hard, but not hard enough. There's a Robo coming out of TurkeyDano, by the way. Robo Bay, specifically, in 2 Robo facilities. I'm curious if this will be for Colossus, because we've actually been seeing that come back in play. I think we've been seeing more Colossus in the last 2 months than the last year. Disruptors are still an option. We see a lot of players like to meme around with Disruptors, and they can be quite gross, but I think the beauty... Yeah, Colossus, I think, is the right choice, and what I was going to get into there was I think the beauty of the Colossus is it's going to force Future to go for Vikings, something he doesn't want to do right now. His medevac count is low. He'd like to build some Liberators. Vikings are not what he wants to do, but Colossus would force that out of him almost for sure. Stim's finishing up fairly late here. I think this is, again, that cause and effect from early on with the economy being stuck on 1 base as long as it was. Your gas went into tanks, your gas did not go into tech. So he's finally getting Stim. Comet Shields, +1. Future's playing like 3 minutes behind where I think a Terran player would feel really comfortable. And he's going to be taking all of this into those Colossus. And a 1-1 Protoss army. He's going to barely have +1 weapons himself. Ooh, what is this? That way, mistake is the answer there. All right, well, the Marines are going to try and bait some shots, but this Colossus is going to be a little surprising to see, and of course, it's going to tear apart the Marines. Beautiful anti-armor missile, though, on top of the Zealots. Takes away 3 armor, 3 shields from everything, and they don't get to take the damage that they normally do. But a Warp Prism and some Colossus Micro might make up for this. So he lost his front line. Gateway units stand, but this is where that charge, and oh, that Colossus pickup again. Going to keep these units alive much longer than they should be. And outright, TurkeyDano was matching supply for Future. Future does technically come out of this ahead, but again, the emphasis is 65 probes, 3 bases. He's been mining for he needs to saturate the gas, but he's been mining for so long off these bases. If this was a game, does this have actually it does. Hey, shout out to Gameheart. Income advantage has heavily favored TurkeyDano, and I don't think that's a surprise to anyone who's paid any attention to what's happening in this game. 4th base out of TurkeyDano coming down right now. This is insane in a good way, but insane nonetheless. 5 medevacs going to come down to the south. One of them is empty, so it's not fully loaded. He's currently at 2-2 at the moment. And speaking of forcing Vikings, yeah, Future's really worried about this Colossus. 2nd starport's even coming down to add into this, but ooh, big oof. TurkeyDano, no defenses in the main base. Going to cost him his upgrades at this rate. Forge 1 goes down. Forge 2 getting targeted. And there's no effort to recall. He doesn't have the energy, that's why. Oh, that sucks. So Colossus going to walk back, but these medevacs should be able to boost out of there. There's not that many stalkers to pick them all off. Trying to get as much damage done as he can. Future satisfyingly takes out both the upgrades and gets most of the army out alive. A medevac goes down, and that kind of sucks, but while this goes on, he's banking up Vikings on the other side of the map. 3rd base has finally been set up for him. Late than never. It's the main base, but I mean, hey, it's a 3rd base nonetheless. He needs minerals more than anything else right now, I would argue. Obviously, gas would be great, but ooh, big warp in for TurkeyDano. Here's the retaliation. And you know the beauty is, his mineral income's been fantastic this whole game. But big drops go back to the main base, and we have a weird kind of base trade in play. See how dedicated this gets. So one of the Robos goes down, Colossus. Oh, Robo Bay gonna get focused down too, so no more Colossus, just this last one that's in queue. But at the same time, this is a full-on base trade. On the other side of the map, TurkeyDano has not opted to come back home. I think the trick here for him is to do as much damage as possible, then recall back if he wants to turn this into a really clutch situation. Nice micro out of this Colossus defending his main base. It's not killing much, but it's doing a lot more than what's going on at home. SCVs are all he can really pull into the action. Those Vikings he had built for the Colossus, finding no effect. They could maybe land, but that's a big if. This Colossus, oh, make it to the shield battery, TurkeyDano! No! Things are starting to look a little bit rough. SCV's made it around the edge of the map, so he could possibly build a new base. No, wait. He's like 20 minerals short. He can't build a new command center. We are in full base trade territory. Oh, TurkeyDano's in a bit of a tough spot. He's had the numbers for a lot of this game. He's got all these Templar he just made, but this storm's only just begun. Nothing here to help defend. These, yeah, make him into Archons, because Templar only hit for like 5 damage. 6 with an upgrade. No, 5 with an upgrade, because they only hit for 4. God, High Templar are just so bad with the auto attacks, but the point of them getting auto attacks wasn't for the auto attacks. You know it, I know it, we know it, but TurkeyDano ends up clutching the victory here. As things looked rough and we focused here, I mean, he's just lost everything else. Production completely compromised. Command center's gone. Future gonna take the tap out, and TurkeyDano takes the win. Good to see TurkeyDano taking a victory here. Actually, on that note, you guys, TurkeyDano, I always love when players come and hang out. TurkeyDano's usually hanging out in various people's Twitch chats. We kind of make jokes about how you know, he doesn't stream because he's busy being in everyone else's stream. But look at the resources lost. You know, the income was pretty nuts here too. Pretty close game ultimately, but not how it actually finished, I suppose. Just on paper, it looked a lot better than it did. So thank you for watching. I did make it through the whole VOD without having to edit out any coughs, so that feels great. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to see more of these types of videos. Otherwise, like I said, tune into our Twitch channel on April 7th, qualifiers, 8th and 9th for groups, and 13th and 14th for playoffs. That's $1,000 for my welcome back tournament. And of course, we have a match arena page set up. I'll put all the info in the bio below, so be sure to check out those links. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you another time. To the spoiler-free screen!